Cornerback Lamar Parish's 38 interceptions is tied for fifth most interceptions in the 1970s. A seven-time Pro Bowl player in the 70s, he was a running back in college at Lincoln, located in Missouri. Parish had 3 games in which he scored 2 touchdowns, and he scored 13 touchdowns overall, 4 via punt return, 4 interception returns, 3 fumble returns, 1 kickoff return, and 1 blocked field goal return. He has all these accolades and impressive statistics, yet he's never seriously been considered for Hall of Fame induction. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Parish was involved in a contract dispute and traded with defensive end Coy Bacon to the Redskins on June 26, 1978 for a 1979 first-round draft pick who ended up being LSU running back Charles Alexander. He had 9 interceptions for Washington in 1979 and made first-team All-Pro. He wore an elongated face mask while at Washington, the same one that running back Joe Washington sported. Cornerback Bobby Bryant is tied with Parish in 5th place. Nicknamed Bones due to his slight build, he made this top 5 list even though he missed the entire 1974 season due to a broken arm. Even though this interception is from the 1973 NFC Championship game and therefore doesn't count as a regular season interception, it's too exciting to omit. 63-yard return that iced the game for the Vikings. Hall of Fame cornerback Ken Riley is 4th on this list. He was small at only 5 foot 11 inches, 180 pounds, and was converted from quarterback in college at Florida A&M. Strangely, he never made a Pro Bowl team in his 15-year career in which he intercepted 65 passes, including 8 in his final season, 1983, when he made first-team All-Pro. Parish intercepted 3 Joe Namath passes in Joe's last game as a New York Jet, December 12, 1976. Ken Riley was nicknamed the Rattler. His college team, Florida A&M, were nicknamed Rattlers. Despite his small stature, receivers like Hall of Famer Charlie Taylor felt the pain that he could dish out. Here's a guy almost nobody would have given a chance to make this list, Tom Darden, even though he missed the entire 1975 season due to a knee injury. In college at Michigan, he played the monster man position on defense, which was a free-roaming defensive back position. Wide receiver Dave Logan recalled a fist fight between Tom Darden and head coach Forrest Gregg after a 1977 game. The Browns team did not respond well to Gregg's super abrasive coaching style, which led to his firing with one game remaining in the 1977 season. Forrest Gregg had played for Hall of Fame head coach Vince Lombardi, who was as intense and hot-tempered as any coach ever was. But his fiery leadership propelled the Packers to 5 NFL titles in the 1960s. Gregg finished no higher than third place in the 4-team AFC Central Division during his 3 years as head coach. In short, 1970s NFL players didn't buy into all that yelling and screaming head coaching style. In 1976, Week 2, Darden could have had 3 interceptions. If he had, he'd be number 2 on this list. Emmett Thomas has the 3rd most interceptions in the 1970s. A good-sized cornerback at 6 foot 2 inches, 192 pounds, he was an undrafted free agent out of now-defunct Bishop College. He made the Hall of Fame, and in 1974 his 12 interceptions, 214 return yards, 2 touchdown returns, and a long return of 73 yards all led the NFL. Free safety Paul Krause is tied with Thomas for the 3rd most picks in the 1970s. In 1975, he had 10 interceptions for 201 return yards, which led the NFL. A 5-time Pro Bowl player in the 1970s, he hung on to become the NFL's all-time career interception leader. His 81 interceptions is a record that will probably never be broken. Al Kraus passed 11 yards to Stu Voigt for a touchdown on a fake field goal attempt in overtime to give the Vikings a 22-16 victory over the Bears. The play took place on first down, and it's the only pass completion in Kraus's 16-year career. My guess is that the majority of viewers think that Mel Blount has the most interceptions in the 1970s. Well, the man who lined up against Double O Ken Burrow of the Oilers 2 times every regular season from 1971 through 1979, plus 2 more times in the playoffs, is number 2 on this list. Mel Blount led the NFL with 11 interceptions in 1975 and was named the Defensive Player of the Year. At 6'3", 205 pounds, he was a huge cornerback who was very aggressive and tenacious. Great Scott! It's Jake Scott at number 1. Super Bowl VII's MVP based primarily upon his 2 interceptions. I doubt that many fans would have guessed that Jake Scott had the most interceptions in the 1970s. Jake Scott played the final 11 games of his 1970 rookie season with a separated shoulder and played in Super Bowl VI against the Cowboys with a broken left hand and right wrist, each which required a cast after the game. Despite his demonstrated toughness, head coach Don Shula and Jake Scott had a locker room argument about whether Scott's shoulder injury was serious enough to keep him from playing in a preseason game. Shula suspended him and then traded him to Washington with a 1977 fourth-round draft pick for safety Bryant Salter. From 1970 through 1978, Scott only missed 2 regular season games.